I
like
would
y'all flush
ask
everything you
them
got
for
first.
dates because the original plan was to do this over spring break.
I don't think y'all gonna be able to do it over spring break.
I'm
That's
just
not
saying,
realistic. I don't think.
it's not.
I would wait until I wouldn't force a date. I would just force trying to get it done before the end of May. Because you may be able to do one day. But if y'all want to do it on spring break, it's up to y'all. I'm not stopping you. I'll support you. I'm not. I don't have a spring break.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah. Hey, Stephanie, she has the flyer for the cleanup thing. But I think they were trying to think about doing something on spring break. You got spring break.
That same Thursday or is it after?
Well, give it to
I
team. They need to flesh that out with the
honestly
team.
don't know yet, but I can check that.
Yeah.
I would personally, I mean, y'all can talk about it. Also, I was going to talk about today because I know we don't have time. Can you add me to the group chat? I don't know who's in charge of each
Give
committee.
me a minute.
Okay,
I don't know who's in charge of the other committee, but I can add you to this one.
I'm gonna text y'all about like just a list of committees, just so like, cause I wanna just to help y'all out too. Or at least like,
I just want to make sure.
so just in case if y'all need help with like me like reaching out or anything, or just like to keep y'all like, hey, like how's it going, or just whatever I can help with. I'll probably ask to be added to all of them, or just like also a list of like resources and stuff. Cause I mean, I know y'all are students first, and like I don't want to y'all to have to do all of it because this is technically y'all's like.
Thank you.
So yeah, probably do that. There's a lot.
There is, and I was looking at the schedule, like, we just had a last meeting, and they
Yeah.
just handed us a packet.
Oh, it's so late.
For April, it starts in April. It's not
Yeah.
really that long.
I would wait and we can like plan it, like, you know, give it another month or so and that's just something we can, even I can help. Like you have July, which is perfect. That's a big step.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
might as well leave it at that.
We can just talk about what each one and then what they got. So I think it's just us and getting permissions and stuff. So I can help with that as well. But yeah, first we can worry about that. Yeah, no stress.
Hey, hey, hey. How you feeling?
I'll just have to restart.
Them too. Talk, Catherine.
Hey, we'll start at 4:45. It's 4:40, so you got 5 more minutes. All right, guys, it is 4:44. Let's take your seats and let's get ready. If you're coming down doing the prayer and the invocation, the pledge and prayer, you can come down here and get started. It's 4:44. We have a minute before we start. Hey, we also have 2 extra seats, so who else was sitting here? Okay, Miriam, y'all two at the end go up top, and then y'all stay here. That's okay. Mary, okay. Uh, this sounds like a matter we can discuss later in our open forum comments. All right, so hey, we're going to get started with the prayer and the invocation.
My name is Catherine Barboza. I'm from Beaumont Early College, and I have the prayer today. So, God, we ask you to guide us in this meeting and give us the words to say as we represent the youth of our city. We ask you to open our minds and allow us to accept the knowledge of others and bring our own knowledge to the table. So, in your name we pray. Amen.
My name is Jonathan Hernandez. I'm from Beaumont Early College, and may you please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we're going to start off moving on to the first item, presentations and recognitions. Are there any presentations? All right, so the March presentation got moved to the next meeting. So moving to public comment. Anybody in the audience, you got 3 minutes to address the Youth Advisory Council. If anybody wants to say anything, time for that is now.
How are y'all doing? I'm Mary Williams. I'm a United States Army veteran who served 21 years. Thank you. That's what all right. That's first of all, that's what we always need to say to a veteran, especially a United States veteran. Myself, Stacy Lewis's son is a veteran. Stacy himself is a veteran. So we do have veterans in the community. In fact, we have over 2,500 veterans just in the Beaumont area. So when you see a veteran, make sure you thank them for their service. I just wanted to commend City Council and Miles and everybody behind the scenes for Mural Fest this past weekend. It was amazing. It really was. And I hope you had the opportunity to get out and see the beautiful artwork that is being contributed to Beaumont right now. So thank y'all so much for being here. And I'm excited to see our youth taking a stand in Beaumont, Miles. This is awesome. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item 1 on the agenda, the trash cleanup. Can we hear from the committee on that? If you're a member of the committee for the cleanup day.
Same, is that the same as the beautification
Yes.
day? Or, oh, okay.
I can add to that too as well. I think a group had reached out to me about a litter campaign they decided, or they did a while back, and they wanted to get you guys' input. I know you guys were working on the trash cleanup. So there are two different things going on. The litter campaign is something, I think it was a video that the communications department did to talk about litter and how to keep the area clean. And so there's a push right now for clean streets, cleaning up Beaumont. We had the recent conversation around recycling, so it's a big conversation. They're really wanting more volunteers and youth involvement in how we develop that. And so what I want to do is open this up as a discussion. So therefore, if people are watching, it gives them feedback on what you guys think, what maybe some of your students think around an appropriate litter campaign or cleaning the streets or something like that. So they're looking for you to give ideas. So this is open forum type discussion. That was the purpose of this agenda item.
So does anybody have any comments or suggestions for what they'd like to see on the trash cleanup component of Beautification Day? Or that?
So, recently I went to Mural Fest and it was really, really fun. But one thing that I did learn was that the murals done on the, like, they're like these big cube wooden things. They said that they were mobile, so they can be moved anywhere. I was thinking about moving some of those towards our stations so that they can get news coverage and it could be a part of Beautification Beaumont, because that's what it is.
That video that you were talking about from the campaign, where is there a way we could get it? Maybe we could show it like at our schools. Like we have a BCC class.
Okay, so I'll get that to
everybody.
Arlette, or I have Lauren.
Actually, Kevin is still waiting for you to confirm that you
The
approved
second video,
it.
okay, yeah. So that the video that you're referring to is the introductory video of BYAC Beaumont Youth Advisory Council. I think some of you guys are part of that. So that's a separate video that I will approve. Yeah. I mean, let's discuss that first. Did you want to discuss to the group your thoughts on the video, and then, then we can move towards an approval.
So, he mainly specifically wanted me and you to approve it, but I really do not mind sharing it with everybody so that they can watch it and also give a peace of mind. But mainly it's just, like to get you to approve it.
All right, I'll get that done. The litter campaign video from Kevin, we'll get that sent to you guys too. So I actually will get Lauren to send it to Arlette, and Arlette can send it out. So that'd be 2 videos. Do you have any? Could you give your feedback on that video?
So basically he took all of our snippets of what we were talking about, the people who got the chance to talk, and he kind of edited it into a video that showcased what we were about and what we want Beaumont to see us, and how we want them to take us seriously is what we mainly wanted to get out there. So this video will be broadcasted on the news so that people can know who we are locally, and it should be soon that they'll be broadcasting it on the, I think it's KFDM, right? KFDM News.
Yeah, that or Channel 12.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one, but
yeah. So that's where it will be, and it was. I personally thought it was very professional, and it really embodied what we're about.
yeah. So we'll get that sent to the group. Y'all can at least take a glance at it.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, do you know, will y'all be able to let us know today? Because I don't watch the news, so I want to see the video.
Yeah, it's not been released to the news, or I don't have a date on it yet. So
Okay.
once we approve it, I guess they're kind of talking about, we have a channel, the city of Beaumont has a channel, so it may start circulating in the future.
Okay.
Once we get a date that it will be broadcasted, it will be sent out in the group me saying it'll be this day, this time.
Also, what's the update on the trash cleanup? Like, where are you guys at in that process?
So today, supposedly, we were supposed to get a solid date because we all mutually agreed that we wanted it to be during spring break. But since it'll be the week after this, we wanted to get a solid date that we were going to do this on.
So no to spring break. Is that what you're?
No. I'm saying yes to spring break, but we need like a singular date, like March this date, to it be like official.
Is that a consensus?
Is that enough time for like proper notice to the public of that? I mean, that's only in a week.
That's not on me. That's what you guys as a committee have to tell
So-
me.
I don't feel like that's enough time for the
Yeah.
notice. I previously discussed this with Miles, and he was like, it's kind of late. So, and we're doing a lot during spring break. I know some of us are like traveling and going places. I'm going to colleges. So could we push it back?
I mean, if we do push it back, let's push it back to a date that's gonna be the date. That's when we all plan. Because if we keep pushing it back, like, oh, we'll talk about the next meeting, it's gonna keep getting pushed back. And
No, we
getting
can
more.
like pick a date right now. I'm just saying like something other than spring break.
We could try for a date in April. Which date?
I think if we tried in April, we can also go to the Washington conference and see how other people have done something similar, and then we could bring it back so it'll be better for us.
Okay, to narrow down, do you guys agree on it being like on a Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. Let's look at April.
There's the 1st.
Could we do the 8th? Or the 15th?
15 is prom for.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have prom.
So the 8th?
That's Easter, during Easter.
The 8th?
But like it's Sunday, but there's something gonna be happening.
That's perfect. That means the city gonna be clean for Easter. And then we got that Good Friday.
Oh shoot, that's tax day.
Is Good Friday taken home?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we could do it on Good Friday because it's a good deed.
What?
You right.
The
Yeah.
22nd, I'm sorry. The 22nd is Earth Day. We could do it on that day.
Okay.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, youth council, right? Right.
All right, so April 22nd.
Yes.
All right.
Morning, evening.
I really,
Brooklyn, is that
I think
good?
we should do the cleanup from 10 to however long it lasts, but like it's starting at 10.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Okay. All right.
That's good. Too early?
Wait, y'all trying to do it to where like a lot of youth can come out? Cause you know that's the same days that Nature's, they have their whole event that day. I mean, I know y'all trying to do the whole community, but that's the day Nature's have their whole thing.
Yeah, and nature starts. It starts at 9 a.m. that morning, and it's all day.
Is that the river?
Okay, what about that Sunday, the 23rd?
Sunday.
do that afternoon?
No.
Sir,
How long is that
No,
event?
don't do it. Morning.
the breakfast and practice is from like 9 to 11 roughly.
Okay, yeah, never. Okay, I
And
get
then
what you're saying.
everything is in the evening.
Gotcha. Okay, never mind. I'm thinking you're talking about an activity that's done. Okay, perfect. I get it.
What?
Just a suggestion, so you can get your bang for your buck. Since you guys are going to pick a cleanup day, it might be smart to actually divide in teams throughout the community, and you can actually have a team captain, like Sam can be, let's just say in the West End, Papa Young's can be in the South End, and somebody can be in the North End, and I think we can cover a lot more ground than us all being in one area. And I think what would end up happening is you'll get community members who live in those particular areas to kind of get on board and come in with you guys. So that's just a suggestion so we can cover more ground versus doing a small area at a time. So I just want to kind of throw that out there to see what y'all want to say. And I think another smart thing would be to get with Miles and we can form a committee, because right now staff is currently in negotiation of doing a Clean City campaign. BISD have their young students doing poster contests right now. And I think it can all flow into something real big, like a real big Clean City campaign. We have some coming up called 409 Day. And I think getting with that group, maybe pulling them in, maybe the day before the big celebration or the day after, we can turn it into a weekend thing and partner with them and clean up the city either the day before or the day after their event. So it's just suggestions to take advantage of what's already going on and partnering and collaborating. So I just want y'all to think about getting with Miles and maybe getting me, getting Kenneth Raggett, who's over the parks, and we come together and make it a real, real big thing. I want y'all to think big. So I just want to throw that out there, that suggestion, and kind of see if y'all, while y'all were discussing it, get some feedback on that particular topic, okay?
All right. Thank you. Since you discussed groups, I was thinking we could do prizes.
Okay. I feel like we should pick a day first.
Yeah, and we already have a committee for Beautification Day, so if though if that committee could go ahead and decide the day on their own, they were assigned to manage that task independently. So that's probably the best use of their time. So they can report back to us at the next meeting on the 23rd with finalized details of what will go down and on what date that will occur. All right. Do we all agree with that?
I agree, but I also agree with Councilman Turner saying to do it after or before that project. So we just need to know the date of that. Do y'all know the date of that? The 409 day.
I can get that information to you.
Okay.
All right. So moving on to the Parks Department plan.
Let's finalize. The next step on that is for you guys to select the date. Are y'all wait until y'all leave DC first, then select the date? Or just wanted so I clarify what I need to do on my end as well?
We'll wait until, so the committee on that is going to report back to us
Okay.
at the next meeting, which is the 23rd, so two days before we leave.
Okay.
And then we will finalize it then after the committee has all details organized.
Is that a consensus from the...
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so to the Parks Department plan.
Yeah, so the city of Beaumont is doing like a parks redevelopment plan, or I would say a revitalization plan. So initially, I think they were spending maybe under $200,000 per year on trying to upkeep the parks, maintenance, and things that go with that. They've increased that to around $1.4 million. But when you look at the cost of supplies, sometimes that's not really a big number per park. But there are going to be a lot of improvements made. I got an email, I think, last week, and they want to get you guys input on certain parks. And so what I want to do for the purpose of people who are watching or people who are here is get your feedback on the different amenities, things that you want at a park, things that we probably have at the parks that you like, or something, you've seen somewhere that you kind of want to bring here. What that will do is just help us get a general idea of what you guys use in parks and what you want to see in the parks. And so this is an open dialogue. It will be helpful for everybody here present and people who are watching to kind of get an understanding of what the youth like at parks or what they want for parks. So as many people as possible, try to get feedback, let the other person talk. But if we can get everybody to communicate to kind of get an idea, I think that'll be good. So you can start whenever y'all ready.
All right, so what are y'all's thoughts on that? On things you'd like to see in a modernized park?
Let me add this. After I finish this, my goal is to set up a date that will bring some of you guys, if not all, whoever's available to that meeting with the vendor that will be doing most of the park restoration for this certain park. And then you guys could kind of give an additional feedback session.
Thank you. So what are y'all's thoughts on that?
Okay, so I think we should get, or they should have water fountains, but like clean ones, like keep them clean, because there's a lot of people that go like on runs or stuff to the park, and they can refill their, or like get water from there also.
Oh, the water fountains? Could we have the bottled water?
That's what I was thinking, but I think that's too bougie for a park. Personally, I don't know.
Yeah, you just make your request known. We're trying to get an understanding of what things will be used. So if you keep talking about water or the water bottling system or the water fountain that's kind of a little bit taller, you can put your water bottle there. If that's what people are using, I mean, that's something you want to communicate. So don't look at it as if you got a blank check, but we're just trying to get the idea of what is used. So don't feel like you can't say something. Put it that way.
What about more water sprinklers, that the kids can run through?
And although I'm not writing anything now, we are getting notes, so I'm listening. We are taking.
Maybe a whole little park dedicated for that, because I know is it I don't know, somewhere around Beaumont. It's an outside city. I don't remember where, but it's a whole park where it's just for water. It's not like a water park, but right.
Any other thoughts on that?
I don't know how hard this would be, but just having safety precautions around, a security guard or a police officer just around the parks, because most people don't feel safe just going out to the park and going on a job, because a lot of stuff happens out those parks.
Oh, recycle bins.
I would say more seating around, because I know that I personally am not gonna go play on the playset as you get older. You kind of stop doing that. But more areas to sit outside with friends, family, enjoy just kind of being outdoors, I think would be good. And I also agree with the water fountains with the bottle filler would be good.
I also like the water bottle thing, and with the seating, we should do like the plastic benches, not the concrete ones that they have at Rogers Park. You know what I'm talking about? Those kind of like scrape your knees if you're wearing shorts and you're like trying to get out of them. Sorry.
And even if we can't get security or police officers, because I know it's a shortage, we could have, I know at colleges they have a pole, emergency pole, you press and the police come within 5 seconds to you. So if they can't be patrolling the whole time, you can have a pole.
Yeah, we could also offer like a first aid kit next to it, like just in case anything could happen in the park.
Very nice. So, is there any other comment on what y'all want in the parks?
Okay, guys, I want to push on y'all and challenge y'all a little bit. The reason I'm doing it is because we now have a new city manager, and I asked him, normally with parks budgets, how do you do things in the past? What do you see done in other cities? What is successful? So what he's actually looking into is a park enterprise bond or fund. So what that basically means is we can do big projects. For example, we can create a sports complex on College Street. We already have the tennis, we already have the baseball fields, but we can add football, turf fields, and we can also add a gymnasium and have a real full sports complex. Whereas when you come in, we can have murals of all our professional athletes that actually have made it. And when every kid from Beaumont, Texas, surrounding areas come into that park, they know they can possibly be on that wall in the future. Another thing is, similar to the water park that you stated, I don't want y'all to think nothing is too big. Even with the Imagination Station at Central Park, I want you guys to think of the biggest ideas you can possibly think of, because with some of these examples that our new city manager wants to do, he wants to accomplish big things, not small things. So I don't want y'all to hold back, because if the bond or the funding passes, we will have the funds to do these type of projects. So one thing I want y'all to understand, the sky's the limit, and we really need feedback from y'all to know what's best from the youth perspective in our community. So I don't want y'all to hold back. I want y'all to really come with it, okay? Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, let's build a Six Flags. It's an amusement park.
All right. And know one thing that's pretty cool. Right now, I don't mind saying it early, but me and another council member has actually been in discussion with the county judge on looking into doing full water park at Ford Park. I mean, we're not that far down the line, but we have been in discussions about it. So the reality is the county owns the property. It's already in existence. Why not enter a partnership with what's already existing? Now we don't have to go purchase land or buy land. The land is sitting there, and we all know it's not utilized nearly as often as it should be. So these are some of the ideas I want to push y'all to kind of give me more. So I'm glad you stated that, because now I might need to know what's better, water park or amusement park, or a combination between both. But I need that feedback from y'all.
I think a combination between both, because it does get very cold here. So, and like with rides, they could still go with like rides. They don't need to get in the water.
Okay, I just wanted to push y'all to think big, and I'm gonna go sit down now. But I wanted to push y'all to think big. All right.
What about a drive-in movie at the parks? Remember how we was talking about the drive-in movies? Like we could do it at the park.
I forgot which park, the one across from Odom. They sometimes have like movie showings and they invite the public.
Yeah, I think there's another point of view to what Councilman Turner said. That could be a major source of revenue too, if there was a large developed recreational area where Ford Park is now. I mean, I imagine that already generates enormous amounts of revenue for the county, but I mean, think like a large, like something on the scale of, like size-wise the fair would be tremendous for the area as far as commerce. So then there's that angle to it too.
Miriam, who puts that on at the park?
I'm not exactly sure who does it.
Yeah, maybe we could try to ask him to publicize it more, because I never heard it.
Oh.
Any further comment?
We're gonna make sure y'all have all the information y'all need. All right.
The city puts the movies on at the parks. they bring the screen out, and they go to different parks. They've done it in Terrell Park, Sprott Park, Magnolia Park. They move it around the city, but they put the screen out and they show it, so it's put on by the city.
Thank you. So, is there anything else anybody has to say on that count? Arlette.
If you're thinking about building a water park, I remember a water park that I think it was in Silsby that got washed down by Harvey. It was called Paradise, I believe. It wasn't a big water park, but it was kind of on a small scale. But lots of people really did like going over there because it was cost efficient, and the kids got to play and they were safe because it was small. There was a big lazy river, and there was I think it was like 2 water slides, and it wasn't in my perspective compared to like a big major water parks like let's say Schlitterbahn. It wasn't as expensive, but it brought lots of people during the summer. So I think like if we were to make a water park, it would be like smart to kind of resemble Paradise because of how attractive it was, even though it wasn't large scale.
I really like that idea, and it was Paradise Water Park.
All right. So, moving on to item number 3, assign focus group setup. Miles?
Yeah, I think we had talked about the legislative agenda for youth council, and I think you guys made comments last meeting that we probably need to get more youth input, or just reaching out to students more before we consider this to be a document that you feel comfortable that have more youth input. So what I kind of thought about from that was we probably need to develop focus groups, and what the focus group is essentially we would just set up a table at your school and just do a survey. It'd be a simple 2 to 3 question, maybe 5 at the most. And so what I want to do is, one, have a focus group at each school, a certain time frame, and we try to get as much information as possible, and then we can come back, against that document and see if, maybe it'll have more substance to it if we have more youth input. So, 1, do you even like the idea? 2, is it realistic, and what kind of feedback or questions would you want asked at your school's focus group?
So us, we have a mode of kind of doing that without having to, make it a thing to. What I'm saying is kind of like not interfering with our school days. We could just make a Google form sent out on a Google Classroom where it'll be mandatory. Every student has to fill it out on the campus to give us feedback, and it would come back to one person. And let's say it's our campus advisor. For us, it would be our preparatory college course teacher, so that we can just have the information right on hand.
I do agree with you, but I also say that if we have a table, because at my school, when we have a table, at lunch, students come, fill out the survey, get a piece of candy. It brings big attraction. So I feel like the table would be better at my school, at BU. I'm not sure at early college, but at BU would be better because they don't really look at their Google Classroom anyways, and the survey might be mandatory, but that doesn't mean they're gonna do it. So, but they come to the lunch table, it attracts a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that would do well at Westbrook too.
So I need to have candy. Candy or some kind of snack. Chick-fil-A gift card, something. Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
Also, I was gonna say I agree with Brooklyn too because like if they have questions, like additional questions, they can ask us while we're at the table. And if we're at the table, we can show that like we can't just make it. I mean, we could make it mandatory, but like she said, they're not gonna do it. Like whenever there was homecoming stuff going around, we had to get the codes for the people to even download the Google Classroom to join the Google Classroom. So not even everybody's in the Google Classroom. So we should like have it in the cafeteria so we can show that like we actually care about it. We actually like show support. Like we want to hear what they have to say. Like they're sitting right there and stuff like that.
I agree. I think with both points, I feel like maybe a Google Classroom for those who don't feel comfortable coming up and speaking to us. But I really do think a table would be very beneficial because, like they mentioned, half the kids don't really look at their Google Classrooms, especially like we have assignments that don't get submitted in Google Classroom. So I do think a table would do really well at early college as well. So I think maybe both would be a good idea to look into.
I guess a good next step is recommend some dates and times. You guys don't necessarily have to be there, but school has to be open, and when you give me a date and time, then I'll reach out to your administrator to make sure that that's possible. But if you have a date and time when you know most foot traffic and what area, things like that.
I think we could begin this at all of the schools the week after spring break.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily have to be all the same day, but just
Choose a school a day and we can do it that way.
yes. And okay, this is just high schools, or is this the middle and elementaries too?
Oh, I'm only thinking about high schools.
Got it. Okay.
Now, if you guys want to get that extensive, we can go down to the middle schools and elementary. You would have that would be a great document if you wanted to go that far. Now, it'd take us a little bit longer, and maybe you guys could see about volunteering. Because if I go to middle school, I'm going to want to take you guys with me. If I come to your high school, I don't need you there. I could just, you could pass by, but it won't be necessarily mandatory. But if we decide, hey, we want more youth input and we want to go down to the middle schools, it would be nice if you guys could sit at that table and kind of conduct that same type of survey.
I think that's a good idea. Like, I think we should do the high school portion first because obviously it's easier for us, so we can just implement that into our lunch times or club times, whatever is more convenient for us. But I think later on we should make it a point to kind of separate like the groups to kind of go to the middle schools and talk to them, kind of like a presentation, but that would have to involve us getting in contact with the principal or whoever's in charge of putting on events at the schools.
Yeah, and I'll handle all communication with the administrators, with the middle schools and elementary, so you guys won't have to do that. But I'll reach back out to you guys to see about availability for you to attend it, because I think that'll be important for the middle school students and elementary students to see someone who's in high school, a part of a youth program, and so good idea. We can go as far as you want. So we'll plan for the week after spring break. I'll start sending dates, and I'll break you guys up in groups per school, essentially.
All right, thank you. So, moving on to group voting. So, wait, was there a comment? Okay.
Yeah, more comments.
I was gonna say that even though you said you don't need us, I feel like we should all make a point to sit at the table during lunch, because if they see you, they might not just go to the table. But if they see like us in their school sitting down at the table, they'll probably show up.
Hey, that's even better for me. So actually with that, yeah, it'd be better if you guys sat at that table. Good idea. So
definitely, thank you.
If I'm coming to your school, you kind of serve that little time frame and be able to engage with your students.
So, on to number 4. Or unless there's anybody else have anything you'd like to say on that? All right. So, vote to approve the next meeting date and time. Our pre-established schedule had March 23rd as our next meetings from 4 to 6 with the same executive session time frame. Is everyone?
I thought BU had
Didn't BU have everything on the 23rd of
On the 23rd?
every
Okay,
month?
so we'll need to reschedule.
They rescheduled it. It's the 29th now, so the 23rd is fine.
We'll stick
So I
with
guess
the
we could just
23rd.
hold with what we had pre-established.
Okay, we'll stick with the 23rd. Is the 4 p.m. time slot still good?
Voting council members can vote. So Isaac, to approve the 23rd, 4 to 6.
So everybody in favor, say aye.
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 Anybody against? Okay, this agenda item will be carried.
Very nice. So, and then to number 5, to approve a 30-minute executive session before that meeting, starting at 4.
Yeah, I had a little discussion. So I know we discussed it, but moving to a vote today, just kind of publicly, do you guys like it? I wanted to get one session out the way, and then we go back to this particular thing as a voting item. So do you like it at the beginning like we tried to do? And what we was brought to my attention, we probably need to post that as well, letting people know that the meeting will start at 4:30 versus having to start at 4. So that's something that I can fix on the back end. But do y'all like having the executive session every month, or do you want to have it every meeting? Once a month. Okay, so the next executive session wouldn't be till April. Yeah. So it'd be the first meeting in April. So we would start the meeting at 4 p.m. regardless. Just making sure we're on the same page about that.
Got it. So item 5 would call for there to be an executive session before next meeting. So in line with what Miles just said, we would not want that to happen. So you'd vote against that, would be the general consensus. So Isaac.
Okay, so all in favor, say aye. Aye. Oh wait. You in favor?
You might
Favor
want
of having
to
the
hold on. I
meeting,
would
or-
re-clarify. What I'm saying is, you guys are deciding to vote to have the executive session before the meeting. So, like today, we started at 4 p.m., ended at 4:30. That's the executive session. It would only be on a monthly basis. So, essentially, the first meeting of every month. You don't have that many meetings before it's over. So, I don't know if y'all want to explore the idea of just keeping it for every meeting. Because remember, you only have two meetings per month. So technically, you would only have April's executive session and May, you're done.
Because like the way that the item is worded, vote to approve private executive meeting before public council meeting. So that is under a voting item specifically about the next meeting. So like it's worded in a manner that insinuates that executive session would happen before the next meeting. So unless we want an executive session on March 23rd, then we have to vote against it. Does that make sense? Like, is that?
Yeah.
That's our
I mean,
understanding of it.
I assume that you guys wanted to do one every meeting because you're still serving the same time frame.
I mean,
and you don't have that many meetings left.
We were just trying to do.
But it's totally up to you guys.
First of the month, we'd have
First
two more
of the month,
executive
okay.
sessions.
So you can just make an amendment to it only be once a month. So basically,
Okay.
just in your motion, you're amending it to say that you want to vote once a month for an executive session starting at 4 p.m.
Got it. So,
Okay, so all in favor, say aye.
Restate the actual, just state what you're voting on and then
Okay.
all in favor after.
Okay, so once a month, and then the meeting will be before the actual meeting, starting at 4 and ending at 4:30. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And then anyone against? Okay. This agenda item will be carried.
all right. So moving on to public comment. Anybody in the audience that'd like to say anything, you have 3 minutes to do so. All comments are much appreciated.
Hello. Do I need to state my address and all that? Alex Seal, 10430 Jordan Avenue, Beaumont, Texas. First of all, another good meeting. I just wanted to highlight a couple of things. One, I think on the Instagram page, you guys are doing a great job of highlighting what's going on in the city. I think I tell people all the time, if you want to just have a one-stop shop for the family-friendly events, one page to go look at, go follow the BYAC page, because whoever's running that is doing a good job of kind of highlighting everything that's happening in the city. So kudos to y'all for that, number one. Number two, I think I want to reiterate something that Miles has done the entire meeting, is kind of pin y'all to a date in time. He's kind of, every time you guys brought up something, he'll go back, hey, give me a date, give me a time, give me a date, give me a time. It's kind of like some accountability measures. I think a lot of people are good at coming up with ideas, but the actionable items behind that, and Miles just mentioned that there's only maybe a couple more meetings for you guys to kind of continue to push forward with those action items. So really wanting to see you guys kind of continue to push forward with what's going on. And then going back to the stuff that I saw on Instagram, kudos to you for sharing all the other things, but what are you guys talking about what y'all are doing, what y'all are wanting to move forward and wanting to push forward? You know, you don't have to have necessarily nail down any one particular thing. Just kind of talk about some of those things that we talked about in the beginning of this. All right, that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Any other public comment?
Good afternoon. My name is Stacy Lewis Sr. I reside at 5670 Kathy Lane here in Beaumont, Texas. I have just a couple of things I want to say to you. One, kudos, and I applaud each of you for, you look good, number one. Secondly, you're speaking up and you speak eloquently, and I applaud that out of young people. Here's just a couple of points of order I'd like to address for you. One, movies. You can't just go show movies anywhere. There's a licensing agreement that has to be acquired from Swank Motion Pictures. You can do that through the Parks Department. I may still have a license for it, but that's the way that you coordinate to show movies. Secondly, if you're carrying the motion, you can't make the motion and preside over it at the same time. So I like to hear it go something like, whatever it is, someone puts the motion, you can say, I so move, then you second, then you carry the motion. Are we tracking? You understand what I'm saying? Whatever it is, give me a motion.
I move to amend the docket.
I second that.
Now, what you do is you state what you just heard. You've heard it in motion and properly second. Are you ready to vote? You say just that.
Are you ready to vote?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Signify by saying aye.
Signify by saying aye.
And then the word that we don't say is against, that we say those who oppose. It's the same, but it's a better frame of word. We tracking? All right. And the last thing I'd like to suggest, I want to help by whatever means I can help. I mean, I'm intrigued with this. When you're talking about the trash or the litter situation, I believe that you can work this inside out. So first of all, it begins in your house, right? That you get the commitment out of your house first, right? Everyone that resides in your home. Then you move to your neighbor. And then once you got control of the street, then you can take care of the block. And then from the block, we get the neighborhood, and that's how we get the community, and you get the ward. Make sense? All right. And Miles, we'd like to help with incentivize this thing by maybe best yard, more participation. I probably got 200 volunteer assets that I like to be able to help this group with, if that's okay.
Your 3 minutes are up.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other public comments? There we go.
I want to first and foremost congratulate y'all on consistency. That's a word we don't see people do often. We start things and we don't finish them. We don't see them through. You guys have showed up consistently, and you guys have worked consistently to make this city better. Okay, let's do this. Let's be accountable. Our counterparts that can't make it, let's try to make them stay engaged. All right, let's keep pulling on them to show up and be here. All right. Most leaders, we lead, but we also take people with us. So I think it's important that we pull everybody along and keep this going. The 409 day would actually take place. They have it set for April 29th, 2023. I thought it was important to give y'all the date prior to leaving the day. So it'd be smart to tag the cleanup to on the 30th or the 28th the 28th the day before. So now you could turn a one-day event into a whole entire weekend, and this organization I know would be on board to support and help you guys. So that's just another suggestion. And with the parks, as well as the cleanup, document your ideas, submit them to Miles, and then they can come to us. Y'all can discuss it in your group me, document it, submit it to Miles, it can come to us, and we can all work together in unison to solve those problems. But I'm extremely proud of y'all. Mayor, you're getting way more comfortable. Way more comfortable. You're doing a good job, all right? I'm liking everybody's getting more comfortable, everybody's engaged, but I push y'all to not only lead and show up, but bring your supporters with you, okay? The easiest way to get things done in government, especially local government, is to have a strong support system. When you have a good, strong support system, almost anything you want to accomplish, you can. So I push y'all. I want to encourage y'all to think big. This is Beaumont, Texas. We deserve the best. We will be the best. But I encourage y'all to think big, because I can't lead. Chris can't lead. We can't do it without y'all, all right? I want y'all to understand y'all really are a big part of the future of this city, and we need y'all to really think big and be engaged, all right? So thank y'all.
Turner just stole what I was going to say. But anyway, what I want as an example, Councilman Turner and I are new to the council. So what I tell everybody, we don't know what we can't do. So we just try to do everything. Because if you don't ask, you definitely won't get it. And you have to have a following. And it's not always easy. Right now I'm going through something. Folks in my ward complaining about some work that was done. But the way to handle it, I don't hide from it or run from it. I face it. go straight towards it. And some people were just misinformed, and so now some of them okay, some of them not. Councilman Turner saw me. I was kind of upset about it, but you had to realize when you're on council, you're never gonna please everybody, never. One other thing, when y'all was talking about the water park, Baytown, Texas, has a water park run by the city of Baytown. That would be probably closer to something that we would try to do. It's not huge like Slitterbarn, but it's nice size, and it's run by the city of Baytown. Also, Suffolk, Louisiana has one, run by the city of Suffolk, Louisiana. So we go to, and that's a great idea. We speak about that, especially with doing it at Ford Park, right there on the side of Interstate 10, where everybody can see it. That would be great. That's thinking big. When the parks budget came out for all the different parks, I asked Councilman Turner. I asked for the whole $1.5 million to be spent in my ward. I want it all in my ward. I mean, that's not possible, but I had to step up and advocate for my folks, and that's what I do. That's part of the job, the good and the bad. But y'all doing a great job.
Thank you very much. So if there are no more public comments, we'll move over to council member comment before we close out. So starting with Catherine.
Is this just comments in general on the meeting? Okay. I mean, do I speak? I'm not a council member.
Just anybody.
Cool. Okay. I don't know. I really liked the survey idea, and I really think a table is going to be the best option. But I think that was my main take out of this meeting, because I feel like one area that I know I'm lacking in, I'm not sure about the rest of the council, is reaching out to our schools, because we are meant to be the voices of those students. So I really like the idea of getting their opinion on this document.
Yash.
I liked the meeting today, and I especially liked how we discussed different stuff that we want to add to the parks plan.
Brooklyn.
I enjoyed the meeting today. Everybody got out what they had to say, but I do want to make sure that we don't just focus on the parks in the West End, that we do bring out to the North End as well, because there are parks in there too.
Saad.
Yeah, I thought we had a very productive meeting. We discussed a lot of different ideas and stuff.
Jonathan.
Like Sar said, we have had a productive meeting. We did discuss about main topics that we wanted to get covered, and about the cleanup day and how we'll run that later on.
Isaac.
It's not specifically about today's meeting, but I just want to say that I'm proud of us in general. Yeah.
Arlette.
I really enjoyed today's meeting. I feel like we've got a lot done, and I feel like we are able to execute all the things that we mentioned today. So honestly, as a council, I see this as a big win, and I'm proud of everybody.
Miriam.
I thought we had a great meeting. I do have a question for you. When you mentioned the mural containers, did you want that spread to the different areas that we would? All right. Okay. Thank you.
Kian.
I think today was a good meeting. I think the most important thing is making sure we have dates. So I'll try to work on with some of y'all to getting those dates in solid and confirmed.
Yeah, more on what Kian had said, just if the Beautification Day Committee could finalize all those details for the next meeting. It's extremely productive, very good meeting. Ashlyn.
I think we had a great meeting today. My favorite part was whenever y'all brought up the security pole. I like that one. And also, I was proud of us because y'all were nervous that we wasn't going to be able to finish our meeting in a timely manner because we had to give 30 minutes away. But we finished it, and we still have quite a bit of time left. So.
Councilman.
I forgot to mention it, and BU is in my ward. Congratulations to the BU basketball team. I know, I think school is closed Friday for everybody, to go to San Antonio, and hopefully we get that three-peat, because it hasn't been done since my old high school, Hebert High School, had a three-peat. 80, 81, 82 state basketball champion. That's a long time ago, but I'm sure BU can do it 100%. And
we will be at the game supporting. We will be there.
Well, all right, everybody. With that, we are closed. So
You want me to?
March 23rd, 4 p.m. Everybody.
1 second before we close officially. Just want to recap for the audience. We did discuss this in executive session. So we have 11 students in the program from BISD, and all of those students, the superintendent from BISD has decided to sponsor or take care of the expenses regarding the DC trip. And so that is a huge thing for everybody. They didn't know they was going to be able to go on a trip because some of them have already went to a trip in Dallas. So I told them in executive session that everybody from BISD and the students that are not from BISD, like aside from Harmony Science Academy and other schools, those students will come out of the youth council budget. And so the goal was to partner with BISD because, you know, it just makes sense for everybody involved. So BISD will be covering registration, hotel, and flight. So that's a huge thing. That's a huge investment. I think that really should be talked about. And, you know, we thank Dr. Allen for that meeting that we had. So that just want to kind of communicate that out. Our goal with the trip is to have a chaperone per campus, especially for the females. We have males going that could serve as a chaperone for some of the guys, and BISD has agreed to cover a chaperone as well. So we'll be going to each campus tomorrow, starting at about 8:30 to start meeting with each campus administrator, and we should have all the details finalized by tomorrow. But I just want to put that information out there. And another thing, Youth Council is a budget. It is open to donations. We don't push for donations because I think we should just do it differently. We'll write letters of support. There are corporate sponsors who can help us out. And then it just challenges us to be different in our fundraising approach. So if you want to give to Youth Council, we don't do this a lot, but feel free to do so. We don't reject any donations of that sort. It goes to the budget, and we'll let you know what those funds go towards. Most of it is just travel expense for the conferences. So students, for the first time have gone to Dallas, and now for the first time, some students are going to DC for educational opportunity with other cities because it just improves our community. So this is an investment for the youth. We don't put this out there a lot. I don't do this. They know I don't do this kind of stuff. So it's just, I wanted to communicate that because, we're proud of this opportunity. It is a pilot program. So what you see today is going to be way bigger next time you continue to see it. But we're taking steps in the right direction to get the decorum down first, to understand the process. And we're focused on government with the Youth Council. And we just want to add this point too. When we came back from Dallas, we understood that nonprofits or organizations like the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, over the years, they've lost funding. And so that pressure has been put on cities to take on that more of a community outreach approach. And so you'll see cities across the nation doing more than they have done historically, but just because of those gaps in services and the finances have been lower. So you see cities taking on the Youth Council approach, but more in the community outreach. Our decision is to stay true to Youth Council, stay true to youth government program, and support nonprofits who are doing the work, the churches who are doing the work. So we haven't got to that point yet, but that is our intention. And so I just want to encourage you guys to keep coming. Our goal is not focused on people. It's focused on its governmental process. It's focused on decorum. It's focused on teamwork. But I did want to put that message out there for people who are watching online, and for the people who decided to come, which we appreciate your attendance. So again, the BISD has decided to sponsor, and that's 11 students. And this, if you register for anything of a conference, it can get pretty pricey. So I do want to put it out there that they did a great job by supporting us in that effort, and everybody is thankful. Is it Dr. Allen's birthday today? And we want to say happy birthday to BISD Superintendent Dr. Allen if she's watching, or she may see it on the replay. After our meeting, she was definitely supportive. She just wanted us to communicate back to the students to continue to be excellent role models, which you guys have been doing, and I communicated that to you in executive session. But I did want to re-communicate that to the public and people that are watching. So thank y'all for staying consistent and looking forward to more opportunities.
Hey, Miles, before we exit,
Yeah.
I do want to recognize Randy Philshaw, my counterpart at large, is here.
Okay.
I think it's important that y'all see the council members that are on this council that comes and shows up and supports you guys. And it's it's been pretty consistent who's been here, so I want to point that out, okay? So I did want to let y'all know Randy is here, and I want to recognize him before we got out of here, okay?
Yeah, let's do two things. One, if Councilman Felshaw could come up and make a comment to the youth, but also we have a father in the room, and so I think that it's important when male fathers are involved and families are involved. So, after Councilman Felshaw, if you can come up and make a comment, because that's important as we go on. We understand that strong families support strong students, which makes them have a better support system, and it just helps them in the long run. So we thank you for your attendance and want to put that out there as well.
Well, again, it's always exciting to see you guys sitting up here. I think the first time I spoke to you, we spoke about the political process and how important it is that we understand a republic, a democratic process, and then you're elected to represent the people. I think the second time I talked about integrity, that you have to sit in that seat and feel the power of that seat, but then understand you lead with integrity. But one other thing I'd drop on you today, just sitting back in the back before Miles called me up, just looking at this group, one thing that came to my mind is the diversity of this group. To look at who you are, male, female, different communities, different cultures. But understand this, that diversity demands unity, but unity allows for diversity. And in government, that is so important because the unity of diversity creates unlimited possibilities. When we come together as a community with our different cultures and we bring to the table different viewpoints, different perspectives, different ideals, therein, in that moment where statesmanship is found in true debate that leads to a negotiated resolution, that's the power of government. When two opposing forces come together to negotiate a compromise, a resolution of an issue, and then we find the best answer for our citizens and we're able to move forward. So guys, look at the diversity of this group. Recognize it. And then celebrate that. Thank you, guys.
Well, good afternoon. I don't speak quite as eloquently as these councilmen do. But my name is Byron Papillon, and I am the father of Ashlyn and Brooklyn Papillon, so I'm proud to say I have two members of my family on this. But overall, I want to say good job on you guys as far as like your dedication, because it's something you have to come after school to do, and a lot of people may not want to do this necessarily. So good job on your dedication for that, and that you're care of the community, where your voice is being heard. So this is where it starts, and you have your community leaders here listening to your concerns and want you to think big and out the box. And lastly, I work at Lamar University, so I work with youth. So I work at the next level, and so what we're seeing right now, you guys are the next leaders. So as you go off to colleges and things, get involved in the SGA and those things, and so when you graduate, the city wants you to come back and run for these offices or be city attorneys or what have you. But overall, good job and proud of all of you.
And with that, we will adjourn the meeting, March 23rd, 4 p.m. See y'all. Thank you.